Welcome everyone, my name is Brooke Beerhouse and today we're going to talk about NFTs. I'm going to break down what they are, how they can be used for artists and digital art and filmmaking, but also how NFTs apply to the real world. I'm really excited to dive into this. If you haven't watched my previous short videos, blockchain for filmmakers, I also have a few on Gaze TV and Theta. I also did a quick rundown of NFTs on my Instagram and you can follow down below. So what is an NFT? NFT stands for non-fungible token. What that means is that every token has its own unique identity and value. When we talk about fungible tokens, those are ones that are exchanged on a one-to-one. So $1 to $1, it's an exact trade rate. But if you think of NFTs as baseball cards or collector's items, one rookie baseball card doesn't always come out to the same rookie baseball card because of the different players. There's so many factors that go into the value of certain collector's items. So when we talk about NFTs, totally change your frame rate into thinking about collector's items. Now, that's only in particular when we talk about art. I will get into how NFTs can be used in real world applications such as real estate and buying a car, but I'll get to that in a second. So when you think of collector's items, the value of those always changes. Now, I get a question a lot of why would I buy an NFT? And that's a great question. But why would you buy a baseball card? Why would you buy a collector's item? Part of this is that the value is derived from the person who is purchasing it. A great example that we all know for how art gets its value is the banana duct taped to the wall at Art Basel. That sold for $120,000. Now, something really exciting and interesting tied to NFTs that most people don't always talk about is that NFTs provide a ledger of transactions. It's a whole data for us to be able to see who has ownership, who has purchased it before, and you can really trace where your piece is going. So for example, with Beeple, 10% of every additional he is able to get a profit of. So if someone bought his original digital art for $100,000, then the next time if they sell it for $150,000, he gets a 10% cut of that. That's not unheard of in the art gallery world, and a lot of great arts and exhibits try to help artists in that way. But when an artist sells a beautiful painting and it has it tied in there that they get a percentage cut every time it's sold again, it's harder to trace. But with the blockchain and building NFTs on blockchain, you're able to really follow that ledger of transaction. And that's a big win for artists. As a documentary filmmaker, for me, what that means is that if I were to sell one of my photographs, I could actually follow and trace where that photograph is, who owns it. And sure, people could download one of my photographs from the internet, but at the same time, there would be actual copyright laws and we'd be able to see who has ownership and who actually paid for that piece. And also, if you were to tie in to see the value increase over time, that would be pretty cool as well. So a ton of people have gone into NFTs and what this means in the digital space, but I want to talk about what this could possibly mean in the real world. NFTs being able to trace the transactions and who has ownership of something is game changing. For real estate in particular, people are able to see deeds of houses and you can sell without needing a middleman. You're able to have all of that truly in a legal format going forward. Now, there are a bunch of steps that would have to be taken for that to be mainstream, but I really feel like the future could be using NFTs tied to real estate. This could also mean being able to purchase cars without needing to go to a used car dealership. You could see who owned it before you. You could see maybe even track how many miles that person has had before, if that is tied into the NFTs and on that data collected through blockchain. And there would be more transparency within purchasing any good or item. I think NFT digital art is just the first wave of a long ride of NFTs that we're going to be able to see.